ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 20, verse number 1. So in the previous chapter we read about Krishna protecting the cows from the fire in the Munja forest. So it explained how the cows, they wandered looking for green grass and they got caught in this forest. So in the material world also senses act like that. Indriyanam hi chartam. So the char dhatu means both. Char means to graze, char means to move. So just like the animals go for charing, gochar, the senses also go for that. So Indriyanam hi charatam. Krishna is the same verb. So yan manonu vidhyate tadasya harti pragyam vayur navam vivambasa. So then one loses one's buddhi. And if you lose your buddhi, then what happens? Buddhi nashat pranashyati. So that is the fall down. Fall down is not because of Adam or Eve. Fall down is because of loss of buddhi. So we have buddhi, we have our discriminative faculty, and if we don't use it, if you lose it, if you don't use it, you lose it. So then you get into a forest fire, then you get caught. And the only way to get out of it is taking shelter of Krishna. So that's what is the message from previous chapter. Now in this chapter there is a description of rainy season and the autumn season. And this is a very interesting chapter because here you will see that every verse will have some simile. It's full of similes. There are very, very many great Sanskrit poets, and they are famous for some specific quality among them. So Kalidas is famous for similes. Upma Kalidasasya. So Kalidas is famous for his upma. If you read his plays, his writings, he gives so many of these similes. And Bharaver Artha Gauravam. Bharavi is famous for his depth of meaning. And Dandina Padalalityam. And Dandi is famous for beauty of the words, the usage of the word Padalalitya. And Maghe Santi Trayaguna. And there is very beautiful kavya called Shishupal Vadha, killing of Shishupal, written by Magha. So says that Magha has got all three. So here we will see how Bhāgavatam also gives so many similes after similes, and every simile has got a message behind it. That is the beauty. It will tell something to be followed or something to be given up.
Babaji, before continue, I want to ask one question related to the last topic. Is related to the fire, as you was explaining that Krishna don't interfere directly to the fire, but by his yogic power, he was taking the fire. So does it means, as I understand, that this fire is like the material nature which is burning all of us, and Krishna don't even interfere directly, don't even interfere, just by his power, he do that. It's not like.
Yeah.
Okay. It's indirect. Okay.
So let's study. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Sri Sukha said, Tayostad adbhutam karma davagnirmoksham atmanah gopaha stribhya samachakhyuh pralambavadham evacha. So this was wonderful act by Sri Krishna, protecting the cows and cowherd boys from this forest fire. So when they returned, because in the previous chapter we saw that they came back and the cowherd boys were singing glories of Krishna. So then these cowherd boys, they explained or they told what happened, the killing of Pralambasura and fire to the women, means to their mothers, because they are young boys, they are going to now eat with the mother and maybe sisters. So Samachakyu Pralambavadham evacha, and also spoke about the killing of Pralambasura. So So everybody came to know about that. So commentary is just giving the summary of this chapter. Upmanena vastunam upadayatva heyatve vinshay pravit sharat shobha varnanaya dyotayan muni. In this 20th chapter, Sri Sukadeva Goswami, the Muni, he will describe the beauty of rainy season and also the autumn season, and he will give many upama or similes. So upama is one of the most important and common alankara, ornament in poetry, especially in Sanskrit. It's known for that. And through that upma, he will explain the things which are upadaya, to be accepted, means dues to be followed, and also heyatva, things which should be avoided. So that's what he is going to teach through this. Gopavriddhascha gopyascha tadupakarna vishmitaha menire deva pravrau Krishna Ramau Vrajam Gatau. So when the elderly cowherd men and also the gopis, the ladies, they heard the story of Krishna protecting them from fire and Balaram killing the Asura named Pralamba, so they were all very astonished, and they thought that these two brothers are some devas who have taken birth here in Vraja. So Deva Pravro Vrajam Gata. Deva Pravro iti prema prabalyena swasambandhasya daradhyat purvan madhuryasya poshnam na tu esham aishwarya jnanam ye. So Deva Pravro indicates that they also did not think of Krishna and Balaram as God, but because of their intense love for them and because of their deep relationship with them, so their madhurya, their love only became nourished by it. Means we have such boys in our community who are like some devas. So they still thought of them as their young boys and did not think that they are some avatar and worshipable. So it only nourished and strengthened their love towards Krishna and Balaram. Tat karyasya swasambandha saithalyasya evam tat sanyoge kutrapi ashravanat. So their activities, the activities which Krishna and Balaram performed, it did not slacken their relationship, their love towards Krishna and Balaram, because there is no such description anywhere in Shastra that they started worshipping them and they did not think of them as one among them. So even before they used to think that the deity Narayana manifests through them to protect them, and they never thought that they are some avatars. So now it describes the rainy season. Tataha pravartata pravrit sarvasattva samudbhava vidyotamana paridhi vishpurjitan nabhastala. So thereafter the summer was over, because previous two chapters he spoke about the summer, which he says was not liked by people. So now the rains came. So rainy season began, and it is nourishing to all beings, sarvasat samudbhava, because after the heavy, intense summer, rains come and everybody feels happy and all the plants, trees, they get nourishment, they become green, and various types of animals also come out. So Vidyota Mana Paridhi Visfurjita Nabhastala. So the sky was full of clouds which were thundering, and there was lightning all around because the clouds came and started raining. Sandra Nilambudairvyoma Savidyutastanayitnubhi Aspashta Jyotirachannam Brahmeva Shagunam Babhav. So the sky was full of dense blue clouds, and there was lightning and thunder, and it appeared as if Brahman has become covered by some unclear light, means it has become conditioned by the upadhi, because Brahman is nirguna and now it appears to be saguna. So we have the sky in the summer, not a trace of cloud, nothing, it's all clean, and now so much clouds have come there as if the sky is like the Brahman and it has become limited, parichinna, by the upadhis. So Sandrai Nibidai, Sandra means dense. Nilambudair, so dark, dense with what? Blue clouds. Vidyut Garjita Sahitair Achannam, so it is covered with lightning and thundering clouds, and Achannatvena Pratitam, so it appeared as if it has been covered. It doesn't really become covered, but it looks like it has become. What is commentary? Okay, tato grishmanantaram sarvesam sattvanam praninam samudbhava utpattito jivantasya yasyam. So after Grishma came rain, which nourishes all the living beings. They take birth, and also those who exist, they get life. Pravrit means rain. Paridhi is Chandrarki or Mandalam. Paridhi means the orb of sun and moon. Vispurjitam Garjitam. Vispurjitam means thundering. Tadyuktam Nabhastalam Yasya. So the sky which is... परिधि बता तो रहा है. चंद्र अर्क और मंडलम. मंडल ऑफ चंद्र एंड अर्क,
जो जिस ऑर्बिट में वो घूमते हैं. यहाँ होराइजन की बात कर रहे हैं.
मंडल किसको बोलते हैं?
मंडल तो प्लेन को बोलते हैं, जो जिस प्लेन में
मंडल मीन्स द राउंड थिंग व्हिच यू सी अराउंड द सन और मून. इट इज कॉल्ड मंडल हियर.
जो सूर्य और चंद्र की जो आउटलाइन है. अच्छा, नॉट देयर ऑर्बिट.
Babaji, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Does the count of the season begin with Grishma in this time? Because in the West we count years starting from spring, summer, autumn, winter. Does it begin with Grishma in the Vedic tradition or in this time?
Well, it depends. If you count your year, so year starts with Chatra, that is the spring season. So in traditionally in Sanskrit they have 6 seasons, 12 months, so 2 months per season. So I start with Chatra, Baishakh, that is the spring, and Jyeshtha, Ashadh, that is Grishma, and Shravan, Bhadra, that is rainy season. So it starts with the spring season. and then 2 months continue. So now he explains the simile here. He says Saguna Brahma Samashti Viradatma. So Saguna Brahma, he says, is the Samashti Virat Atma, the universal self. And Vidyut Garjit Ambudanam Sattva Rajas Tamobhirupma. And then Vidyut, that is lightning, Garjit, thundering of clouds, and Ambuda of the clouds. These refer to the 3 gunas. So lightning refers to Sattva, and thundering refers to Rajas, and cloud itself refers to Tamas because it covers. Tamas is that which covers, makes dark, looks heavy, and light is Sattva. So that is the simile. Atra vyomno nirlepatvena. But vyoma or sky, that is nirlepa. It doesn't really get any contact with these things. They only appear in the sky, but sky is not actually contaminated by it. It only appears like that. So similarly, Brahman has upadhi, Nirgun Brahman, Sagun Brahman, but it doesn't really become, the gunas don't contact him. Vastutastu anachannattvena ambudadi adhisthana matratvat. So in reality, the sky is not actually covered by them, it is only the adhisthana, the substratum or support of clouds, etc. Brahmana saha upmayam yogi bhi sviya upasya drishta upadaya. So this upma, this simile is beneficial for the yogis who want to attain Brahman. So they can understand that Brahman is free from all upadhis, but it appears to be conditioned by the gunas because of our own ignorance. So they can think of the sky as their Brahman, which is their upasya, or their worshipable or goal to be achieved. Astau mashan nipitam yat bhumyaschodmayam vasu swargobhirmoktumarebhe parjanya kalayagate. So for 8 months, the sun, it drinks the wealth of the earth. Bhumyaschodmayam vasu. So swagobhi, with its rage. So go is also a sense. So like you drink water with your mouth, which is one of the sense. So like that the sun is drinking the water from the oceans and rivers and ponds for 8 months. And then it releases it. Moktu marave parjanya kala agate. So when time for rain comes, during the rainy season, it releases that water. So it takes for 8 months, and then for 4 months, rainy season, Chaturmas. So Parjanya Surya. Parjanya here is Surya, sun. Parjanya also sometimes means rain. Annad bhavanti bhutani. Parjanyadanna sambhava. There Parjanya means rain. Here it means sun. Rain also comes because of sun.
Sun and rain contradictory.
Contradictory, cause and effect, not contradictory. Can rain come without sun?
But one is cooling, other is
अरे cause and effect देखना, contradictory देख रहा है. So swagobhi swarasmi bhi. So go here means the rays. So the rays of the sun. Kale samaye. So kal means the proper time, that is the rainy season. So now what is the significance of this simile? This upma he explains. So atra parjanyasya rajatvam. So Parjanya or sun is like the king. Udkasya karatvam. Water is like the tax. So the king or the government taxes people. But they should not only tax, they should also give it back then. So nipanasya grahanatvam. So drinking is like taking the tax. Mochanasya danatvam. Releasing it like rain is like giving back. Iti suchitam. Suchitam, this is what is indicated. So vastunah swaprajabhya adanatah same punah punah pradantascha raja upmayam niti drishtya rajbhir upadeya. So a king takes from people taxes and then gives it back to help, to support, to maintain, to protect them. So this is the proper way to rule the kingdom. So therefore this simile is giving that principle for the king to follow, Rajabhirupadaya. Taditvanto mahamegha chanda swasana vepitaha Priranam jivanam hyasya mumuchu karunaiva. So now the big clouds with heavy lightning, and they were as if trembled by seeing the heat. But here what it means is that they were shaken by the wind, because when clouds come there is also heavy wind. So Mahameghascha Chanda Swasana Vepita, they were carried away or they were shaken by the intense wind. And Prinanam Jivanam Hyasya Mumuchu. So then what they did, when they were shaking with the wind, they released the water, which is Prinanam, which satisfies everybody and which gives life. Jivan also means life, Jivan also means water. So Karunaiva is just like somebody who is compassionate person. So compassionate person, he sees another person suffering, and when he sees another person suffering, then his heart shakes. That is what is called compassion. In Sanskrit it is called anukampa, right? So it is called kampa. Kampa means to shake. Yeah, that's what kampa means. In English you have compassion. There is also kampa. So unless there is a kampa in your heart, you cannot help others. So there has to be shaking of the heart. So that's what is compassion. So then what you do, you are ready to sacrifice your life to help others. Those people who are compassionate, they give everything to help. Jivanam, they can give their life also, as he will explain in the commentary.
Just little out of the way question. This compassion, is it a good quality for devotees to have, or he should be little indifferent towards? I mean, he should bother for himself.
You want compassion or you don't want? Do you want compassion or you don't want?
No, we actually want.
So therefore you are selfish. That you want compassion but you don't want to be compassionate. Right? Yes?
But sometimes we feel that it's an obstacle in our spiritual life if we have too much compassion for others, if our heart is shaken.
Now you are saying too much. First you said only compassion.
I mean, उसकी मात्रा तो मैं define नहीं कर सकता, but like in general I wanted to know your, I mean.
Well, it depends. If compassion is towards devotees or seeing other living beings as part of Krishna, then Jiva Daya, Name Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva. What is that? Sunu Sanatan, you आगे धर्म नहीं. What is it?
यह धर्म नाय सुन सनातन.
So, Jiva Daya, Name Ruchi, वैष्णव सेवन.
वो ठीक है. जैसे उस दिन आप डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि जब जो आपका महाराज जी के साथ संपर्क रहा है परम पूज्य श्री हरिदास शास्त्री जी के साथ, तो आपने बताया था कि वो बड़े मतलब ही वॉज वेरी विरक्त, बहुत विरक्त थे. और मतलब मेरा भी कुछ पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस रहा है. जो ब्रज के जो मतलब उच्च कोटि के साधु हैं, मतलब वो ज़्यादा जीव दया पर ज़्यादा वो फोकस नहीं करते, वो अपने भजन साधन पे ज़्यादा फोकस करते हैं, अपनी सेवा पे.
But that doesn't mean that they are not compassionate. Means if they see something, they also help. That is the meaning. It doesn't mean that they are just busy helping people. They also have they are busy doing their sadhana service. Main thing is service to Krishna. But that does not mean they are not compassionate. To having the quality of compassion is one thing, and then all the time engaging in compassion only, that is a different thing. And if we have the means for that, because to be compassionate, kripalo samarthasya dukkhayeva kripalata Jiva says that if you are kripalu but you are not capable, then you will suffer, and the person whom you give your compassion will also suffer. So he should also be capable of doing it.
Capable in terms of, I mean
suppose somebody comes to you and he is hungry and you want to be compassionate, but you yourself are going for madhukari. So then you will suffer because you cannot feed him. So you want to show compassion, then what would you do now? So you also have to see your limit.
Babaji, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Babaji, what is the difference between compassion and grace?
Compassion and grace, I don't know, I'm not so good in English, so I cannot speak from English point of view. They may have some difference, but in Sanskrit we have karuna, we have anukampa, different words. Then we have kripa. So generally you will see these three words, anukampa, kripa, karuna. So anukampa is just as the very word signifies, means it basically means empathy. In English if you translate it, because that's what kampa is. Anu means you see someone suffering and then you feel empathy, that's what anukampa is. So that does not mean that now you do something. It shows that you are empathetic. If it is within your means and then you do something, then that is karuna. So I don't know from English point of view what is the difference between grace and compassion. You have to probably see the English dictionary.
Grace only a higher being can bestow, but anukampa and karuna can even people of the same caliber can have. Is it like that?
Well, probably grace is more used in the sense of like some sort of blessing. Means it's That's what I feel from the word. It's more like not so much as in the form of substance, but like you give blessing, you are gracious, you have good wishes, give a boon. I think that's what grace is.
Maharaj,
Yes.
one commentary. Grace in Latin comes from gratia. That means given free, without any desire of getting something back.
Okay, so you
And
got,
compassion is the kind of, I have a feeling and I want to help.
yeah, compassion means you have passion. Yeah. Means passion here is not in the sense of passion, but rajas means you act on it, you do something. Swasano vayu, the word swasan means vayu. Asya vishwasya, asya means this universe. Santaptasya pirinanam. So what it's saying is that it's just like the word tapa. So tapa means both, it means heat, it also means suffering. Like you said, three tapa, three types of suffering. Adi bhautik, adi devik, adhyatmik. They are also called tapas. So summer is also tapa, tapta. So clouds are being very generous, compassionate, that they see the heat, which means signifying here heat and suffering. So now they're releasing water. Water also here, the word used is jivan. Jivanam means life, jivan means water. So it's like people are dying without food. So many animals are suffering. There's not enough water to drink, so they give life to them. So that's how it is described. So prinanam, santaptasya prinanam. So means trying to satisfy the person who is suffering. And apyayankaram. Therefore it says, what is prinanam here? Apyayankaram means trying to fulfill his wish, trying to satisfy. Ateva jivanam. Therefore jivanam means jivantulyam jalam. So therefore they give life. Because water is life. That's why when they go to other planets, they try to search any trace of water. If they can see any sign of water, then they will know there is life there. No water, no water, no life. So therefore, Sanskrit is good to, it tells you that Jivanam is Jalam. And Karuna Kripalavo Dataraya. So Karuna here means they are Kripalu. And Kripalu comes from the root Krip, which means Samarthya. So La, we change into La, or La change into Re. So it's actually Krip. So that means they are capable. So therefore it says Dataraive. They are like the donors, those who give charity. Tatapakshe swasa vepavau anubhavau. So therefore he says, now when you take this meaning, that means now you apply the to clouds as if they are charitable person. So then the word swasan and kampa, vapa, swasa vepo anubhava. So these are like the anubhava. So you have uddipan vibhav, then you have anubhav. So for a danvir, there are four types of viras: danvir, yuddhavir, dayavir. So for a danvir or dayavir, what will be the uddipan vibhav? Seeing somebody suffering. So that will excite his feeling of daya, or his charitable disposition will come out. But before that he will manifest also some symptoms in his body. So that is what is swasan. means he's taking deep breath, feel the pain, and he's shaking out of compassion. So that's why in Sanskrit it's called anukampa. There is a kampa and anukampa. So jivanam jivitam api taptam janam vikshate tajanti. So then they give even their own life when they see the person suffering. So and the example is ranti devadayo jivanam swamatrapyayakam jalam api iti pitiya upma tadrishtya dayavir danvirai upadeya. So this example of Rantidev is very appropriate because he actually even gave his water because he was fasting. And then already I think some 49 days have passed and he had no food. So first some little food was there, then somebody came, he gave half of that, then another came, he gave half, then another person. And finally there was nothing, only water was left. So he gave that water also. So that's why he said Jivanam.
What is this word? Jalam api iti
Iyam upma tattad drishtya. So Dayavir Danvire Upadeya. So this upma, this simile is for those who are Dayavir, who are heroic in grace or kripa, and Danvir in charity.
Could the reading also be Jalam Apita Iyam Upama? Could the reading also be Jalam Apita Iyam Upama?
So what would be the meaning?
No, that's how I have it here.
No, but what would be the meaning? Also have to.
Jalam Api Ita.
Yeah, but if you give this apita, you also have to give some sense out of it. How will it fit? If you take a reading, it should also fit and give the meaning. So then how it will become Iyam Trivikram? Then it will become Apiteyam. Okay. Also there is story of Dadhichi Muni. He gave his bones to Indra to make the Vajra to kill Vritrasura. Tapaha Krisha Deva Midha Ashid Varshiyasi Mahi Yatheva Kamya Tapsastanu Samprapya Tatphalam. So Tapaha Krisha, the earth had become very dry due to heat. So then Dev Midha means, Deva also means Indra, Deva also means rain. And Midha is Mihi Sachne. We just did this in Adadi. Adadi or Bhuadi? Bhuadi? Okay. So Dev Midha means sprinkled by rain. Asid Varshiyasi Mahi. Then the earth became nourished. So Yatha is just like Kamya Tapah Sahas Tanu Samprapya Tatphalam. It's just like a tapasvi, a person who is performing austerity with some material motive. So when he is performing tapasya, then his body becomes emaciated. That's why it is also called tanu. So kamya tapsas tanu samprapya tatphalam. But when he gets the result, then he becomes happy and his body becomes nourished. So like that. So tapsa pakshe grismena krisha tato devai rudradibhi parjanyena cha midha kamit vastu pradhanena jalvrishtya cha sikta. So applying it on the meaning of tapas means austerity. So case of earth it was dry, and in case of human being he becomes emaciated, and deva. So in case of earth it will be Indra who is sending the rain. In case of tapasvi it may be Rudra, somebody, because he is doing tapasya to please Shiva. Parjanyena cha midha. So midha will be kamit vastu pradhanena, by giving the object of that person's desire. And jalvristya, in case of earth, the rain, cha sikta. Varshiyasi pushtanga uchuna cha. So varshiyasi, it will mean the body becomes nourished in case of a person who is doing austerity. In case of earth it becomes wet. Kamyam tapo yasya tasya pumsastanu kaman prapya yatha. So just like the person who was doing tapasya, his body becomes nourished like that. So itupmeya parinam darshivi sadbhirheya. So it says this example is not for those who are looking for the ultimate goal of life, moksha, bhakti, etc. This is for those who are after materialistic goal. So then night he describes. So this is in the daytime when the rain is coming, how it feels. Nisha mukheshu khadyota tamsa bhanti na graha yatha papena pashanda nahi vedah kalau yuge. So when the evening time comes, nisha mukha means evening time. So then what happens? Then there is darkness and you don't see the stars or planets in the sky because it's night time and there are clouds, so they are covered. So what you see only is the fireflies running around. Khadyota. So I said, just like in Kali Yuga, the Vedas, they are lost, and the hypocritic people, they flourish. They don't have much light. Veda means knowledge. Knowledge means light. So that is, they are lost. They are not visible. They are not known to people. People don't study them. But then there are people who have little knowledge, so running around here and there and fooling others. So that is the Kali Yuga. So Pashanda Shastrani. So Pashanda here means that the Shastra or the literature of falsity or which is against Vedas. So all these types of religion flourish in Kali Yuga and Veda lost. So this is also Heya Upma, simile, which is telling us what is not to be followed. So don't follow the Pashanda Shastra. Srutva parjanya ninadam manduka sasriju gira tushnim shayana pragyadvad brahmana niyamatyaye. So now what happens, especially at night in the rainy season, then water gets logged here, there, small lakes, ponds, and frogs are making sound in them. In the summer they were all quiet, you don't even see them. As soon as the rain comes, so many frogs come and they are doing their trr trr sound. So Manduka Sasrijur Girada. So frogs are making the sound and they are very happy. So he says it just like Tushnim Shayana, they were sleeping in the summertime, now they come out. So it's just like Brahmana Niyamatya, that Brahmanas, they are doing their morning niyam, their japa, etc. And after that they recite the Vedic mantras. So first they are silent, and then they recite Vedic mantras. So niyamatya means, says nitya karma avasane, that when their daily morning duty is like chanting Gayatri mantra, doing Sandhya Vandanam, all this is compulsory for a Brahmana, so they have completed that. And then they recite the Vedas. So Acharya avan shabdam shrutva tachasya yatha adhiyante tadvaditi. So just like the Acharya, he calls them, then they come, the disciples all they come, and then they start reciting the Vedic Suktas, Purush Sukta, Lakshmi Sukta, Bhumi Sukta, etc. So it's like that. So Tadvaditi Brahmachari Bhir Upadaya. So this simile is beneficial for the Brahmacharis. That how they should follow their teacher and recite Vedic mantras. Asannotpat gaminya kshudra nadya anushishyati pumsho yatha sutantrasya deha dravina sampadaha. So he says that in the summer time, the small rivers, they all become dry. Practically their water is dried up. Now when the rains come, they overflow. So they become utpatgamini. Means utpatgamini also means going beyond the regular path, and here it means not following the rules and regulations. So he says it's just like people who are swatantra, who are frivolous, and they have their body, their wealth, and they misuse it. They use it for sense pleasure. So these small rivers are also like that. They are running here and there. They had nothing before. Now when they got something, like some poor guy gets a lottery, so then what he does? He goes all out for partying here, there, doing all kinds of nonsense. So that's how these rivers are. So anushishyati, anushishyante, anushishyati should be anushishyante, means dried up. Vrishyamanai alpairapi jalair utpatgamini. So even with little water they start overflowing because they are not very big. So therefore they become utpatgamini. They break their banks and flow out of their regular course. Swatantrasya shastra shasanam amanayata. So swatantra here is a person, not that somebody who is free, but one who does not follow the injunctions of the shastra. Tasmat shastram pramanante karya karya vyavastito. So gyatva shastra vidhanoktam karya kartam yarhasi. That's what Krishna instructs. And yes, shastradim utsrijya vartate kamakarta na sa santim avapnoti na sukham na param gati na sa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim. So this is what they are. They are not following shastra. So dehasya sampado yavan samarthya vidya dravin sampada pancha gramadhipatyantam. So he says that they have their body and the wealth related to body. So deha dravina sampada. Sampada means wealth. So one is the wealth of the body. So means they are youthful, they have strength, they have ability, they can acquire knowledge. So instead of that, they misuse. And dravina means actual wealth. So they may be owning some land etc. Panchagram Adhipati. So then they misuse it. So yatha nikrishtasya kumatahe parodvejikah tatha iti heya eva eva. So such low class people, when they get some wealth, physical wealth or bodily strength, so then they only give trouble to others. Vidya vivadaya, dhanam madaya, shakti paresham parpidanaya. So if they have some vidya, some knowledge, then they want to challenge everybody, right? Internet now, so challenge, debate, say, oh, you are nonsense, you are this, you are that. So vidya vivadaya, dhanam madaya, they have some wealth, become very proud. Ko asti sadrisho maya, there is no one like me. So, and shakti, paresham, paripidana, if they have strength, then hit this guy, kick that fellow. If nothing else, kick the dog on the street, go for fishing, kill the fish. Poor fish is not doing anything to anybody. So this is parpidana. So khalasya sadho viprita medat jnanaya danaya cha rakshanaya. But if somebody is a sadhu, this is for wicked people. If somebody is a sadhu, it is opposite. If he has vidya, he gives it to others, jnana. If he has wealth, he does charity. If he has physical strength, he protects. So that is the difference. So it says this upma, this simile is for those who are wicked type people. So we'll stop here if there is any question. Okay.
Babaji, I would like to do a question related to this point of compassion. It's just, I mean, it's a little bit clear, but I would like to clarify something. There is some threshold that differentiate the compassion from some particular behavior or condition like codependency, etc., which is related to the capacity of the person who gives the compassion. So my question is, for devotees, what could be the threshold for understand when?
Give me one example, because these are all general questions.
Yes, in this particular situation, when some devotee, for example, is feeling this anukampa for someone, so he
just give an example. That's what I'm saying. Some devotee feeling for somebody, it has no meaning.
Yeah, okay. So it's simple. Someone come here with some problem of knowledge, don't understand, don't know about Shastra. So asking for help for learning and understand. But this help the person needs on proper time, for example, or ask for giving in a way that is beyond the capacity of the person which is given these particular classes. So somehow this helping start to deviate the person who is giving this help from his own process, and with time the person feel harmed by that or something.
So then don't do it. You yourself are answering your question.
Yeah, so for clarify this general question is just the threshold for a devotee is to not giving in the sense that not deviate from his own path or feel harmed.
If you deviate from your own path, your giving will stop after some time, then you have to beg yourself. Is that the purpose? So you have to do what you are doing and then help if you can help.
have a question. The text number 4, shloka number 4, says the sky was covered by dense blue clouds, and this is a simile for. Can we say that this is a simile for conditioned jivas covered by the three modes of nature?
Yeah, you can say that. You can apply that.
Thank you.
Babaji, I have one question, if I may.
Yes.
Babaji, I want to understand that in order to progress on Bhakti Marg, some degree of tapasya and vairagya is required. But sometimes, how does one understand that the tapasya and the vairagya does not disturb one's body and mind in the endeavor to progress on Bhakti Marg? So how does one know what is the right balance between the right amount of tapasya and vairagya without affecting your body and mind?
So give me one practical example.
So a practical example is that sometimes Babaji say that one is trying to follow one's sadhana, and maybe because of some ailment that you may be pushing yourself because you know that you need to do your japa and your sadhana, and then sometimes the mind may use that as an excuse for you to escape from doing your japa and your sadhana.
So the thing is that you will know it yourself, because it is difficult for any other person to tell you that you are escaping or you are stretching. You will know it yourself in your heart if you are sincere. Otherwise, I can tell you, no, this is this. That's why I am asking for a practical example. Because otherwise, how do you know this is too much or this is too little? As far as vairagya and tapasya is concerned, it is needed everywhere. If you want to make money, you have to have vairagya and you have to do tapasya. You have to, suppose you have to go to your job, but you want to actually sit and watch a soccer match. So then you have to have that vairagya or not? You have to get up in the morning and be there in time, that is tapasya. Body may not like that. Your mind may not like that. So you have to do it anywhere. You want to do anything. If I want to go on this particular road, then I have to give up the other road. Isn't it? I cannot go on both roads. So therefore there is a vairagya or not? That is the vairagya, giving up that. This is the road which takes me to my destination, so I take this and I give up the other one. That is my vairagya. So vairagya and tapasya are everywhere. You want to do any activity, you have to give up some other activity. It's very simple. Now the question is that, am I doing it so much that I am falling sick? That one has to see oneself. One will know. Your body will tell you whether it is within your limits or not within your limits. You will know it. Even if you are doing it more than, you will know it. Because you say, well, I have heard this example, that example. Those people also knew. And everybody has capacity. Some people have more capacity for vairagya and tapasya, and some people have less capacity. So it is very difficult to say, how do I know? How do you know? You have to feel yourself in your own heart. If your body is feeling enthusiastic, if you are feeling good by doing your sadhana, you are not sleepy whole day after that because you got up at 3 o'clock and you have to chant 64 rounds, and then whole day you are yawning, you go to office, you are falling asleep there, then you are overdoing it, you will know it. So if you feel normal physically and mentally, then it's all right. But if there is some abnormality, that either you are overdoing it or you are underdoing it. Simple, it's anything is like that. You eat, overeat, undereat, sleep, oversleep, undersleep. How do you know what is oversleep? How do you know what is overeating? You can know it from your own behavior, effect of that later on in your life. So same, if you are doing too much, then you will have effect in your daily life. It's easy. But what is the threshold, or how much is for one person or another person, that varies from person to person. So that's why I'm saying you have to give me one practical example. And when you are rationalizing, then also you actually know it. Inside you know. But you cheat yourself. Yeah, people cheat themselves. When they're cheating others, they're cheating themselves. Because this is a path of truthfulness. Satyam param dhimai. Bhakti is a path of truthfulness. So by cheating others, you are not gaining anything. Okay, maybe you can get some praise and name and fame, but is that why you came to this path? Bhakti is, you are not going to get bhakti like that. It doesn't work here. It can work in the material world. So you have to be truthful to yourself. And if you cannot be truthful to yourself, then what can be said? Means you don't have respect for yourself. And nobody can help. So you know yourself, whether I am being truthful or not truthful, or I am being lazy and I am trying to give some excuse for that. You will know it.
A few days ago I was reading something that calls the rule of the 40%, which means that when someone tells to himself like, it's too much and I will not able to do anymore, you only reach the 40% of your real capacity for doing it.
I have no idea about that. Okay.